Good evening. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to CAA Travel Talks. I'm going to give everyone a couple of minutes to join us and just wanted to let you know there is a little Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. If you come up with any questions throughout the presentation, please feel free to drop them in and we will be sure to address those at the end of the presentation. All right, I'm just going to give everyone a couple of minutes. Tonight, we are talking about CAA and travel insurance. And for me, it's still the most important thing that I always pack. I always take a picture of my wallet card. It's right there handy in my phone. And now more than ever, we'll chat about that tonight. It's important. And I have Carrie Painter, who is our operations and Orion expert at CAA. And of course, Lindsay Taylor, once again from Orion CAA Travel Insurance. Thanks so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, I think we can get started. Once again, welcome. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Karen Taff, and I am the manager of product and groups at CAA North and East. And a little bit about CAA Travel. Well, we have been in business since 1961. We are in the area, of course, of Ottawa. We've got 3 locations in Ottawa, as well as Thunder Bay, North Bay, and Sudbury, as well as online or over the phone. Whatever way you prefer to chat with us will be available to you. And we're there to offer worldwide travel experiences for you. Essentially, we're your one-stop shop for all of your travel needs. As a CAA member, you are getting exclusive benefits that are not available anywhere else. Whether you're doing a cruise, a guided tour, car rental, hotel stays, you're going to be getting either value add or discounts just for being a member. CAA Vacations is a very special program that we have for our members, and it includes cruises and guided tours from all of our preferred partners. And again, you're not going to find them with any other agency out there. And with CAA North and East, you can be saving up to 20%, which is incredible, on your travel insurance. And that includes your emergency medical, your trip cancellation interruption, vehicle rental damage, and baggage loss. New for us this year, we have a CAA Delay Pass. Your CAA travel counselors can tell you a little bit more about it, or you can go onto our website and have a look at the Delay Pass. But if you are a CAA Premier member, you can register your flights directly and have access to a lounge, and all other CAA members have eligibility when you're booking an eligible trip through us. Together, Groups by CAA Travel. This is our own group division here at CAA North and East. We are doing this exclusively for our members, completely custom tours with our members in mind, and you're going to save an automatic $300 off the regular rate, and you're not going to find these tours anywhere else. We're working with local partners and really trying to get very unique experiences that you're not going to find anywhere else. And a lot of our groups are escorted. You're going to have a CAA host with you, as well as the experts on the ground. We just released tours to England and Wales, the best of Scotland, Netherlands and Belgium, and then we go down to Thailand in November, and of course the incredible Christmas markets of Switzerland in December. We know the popularity of the river cruising for the Christmas markets. Why not do it with land and rail? Very special tour. We have a lot of our preferred partners that CAA has been working with for many, many years. As I said, we've been in business in Canada since 1961, and our partners, work very closely with our agents, have a great reputation, and our members love working with them. Whether you're doing touring with CAA Member Vacations, you're doing touring with G Adventures, Trafalgar, and they've just introduced river cruising now as well. African Travel, Insight Vacations, Globus, Just You for the travelers out there. New product called Villas of Distinction. Very, very interesting product where you can get, friends and family or multi-generational sharing a villa together. Brendan Vacations, Luxury Gold, Tauk, Go Away, Cost Saver, and Kontiki are our land partners. And then, of course, rail. Rail is really popular right now. Rocky Mountaineer, of course, in Canada we do a tour every year and it sells out. Our members love that experience. And what has become very popular as Europe is booming is rail bookers. They do incredible packages. Via Rail, of course, and Amtrak. And our ocean partners. Oceania, Princess, Celebrity, Royal Caribbean, Seabourn, Cunard, National Geographic, Lindblad Expeditions. That's that really hot Cruising style right now is Expedition Cruising, Viking, Silversea, Windstar, Holland America, Regent, Hurtigruten, and Azamara. And then, of course, our river cruising partners at Anima Waterways, Uniworld, Viking, Avalon, and Celebrity. See exclusive pricing. This is new again for us this year. We're working with our partners, Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, and Holland America. And we have put together exclusive cruise blocks just for CAA members. It's incredible. The savings for Royal Caribbean is up to 30% off the regular rate. So if you're calling Royal Caribbean and calling CAA, you're going to get two completely different rates. Celebrity is up to 40% off, and Holland America is up to 20%. It's incredible. And we've got departures through 2026 and 2027. Your CAA travel counselor will be able to give you a little bit more details about those departures. Vacation packages, all inclusive, of course, this time of year when the snowstorms are plentiful. We have our preferred partners with Air Canada Vacations and Air Transat, and we've got great relationships with them, offering you everything from a sandals, a beautiful 5-star, to your, cheap and cheerful, all-inclusive 2 or 3 stars. We've got for every budget and every style of traveling for the all-inclusives. Now, this is the first thing you need to check before we get started. Have a look at your passport. Has it expired? If it has, you need to get it renewed. A lot of destinations now want that passport valid for 6 months. And if you're a CAA member, you can go into our stores and get your passport photos done for free if you are a Plus or a Premier member. If you're an Everyday or a Classic, they're only $8.50. Okay, now I'd like to introduce Carrie.
If you're traveling abroad and you're going to be driving, you're going to need an IDP, otherwise known as International Driving Permit. They're $32. You can get them at any of our stores. You can mail in the application, download it off our website. You would just need 2 signed passport photos that you can get at our store. Bring in your valid Canadian driver's license, and they will set you up and issue the IDP for you. As a CAA member, you get many, many discounts. We have lots with our hotels here. You can save up to 10% on our partners like Marriott, Bonvoy, Hilton, Hyatt, Choice Hotels. You can look for our diamond rating, which is AAA diamond rating, where the AAA CAA inspects our hotels, thousands of our properties for the cleanliness, and make sure it meets our expectations. Car rentals. Our preferred partner is Enterprise Alamo National, where you can save up to 20% with them. We have preferred benefits with them where you can get an additional driver and other benefits with booking car rentals with CAA. This is just an overview of the many, many perks that you get for being a CAA member, depending on your membership level. Premier members, we have our Plus members, Classic, and our Everyday. Everyday is your travel benefits without the car, without your tow if you don't need a tow. But as you can see, we have many benefits here from anywhere from saving on professional service fees to our travel insurance. You get your CAA delay pass, luggage and travel, airport parking, and Via Rail discounts. And now I would like to introduce you Lindsay Taylor, who will be talking about Orion Travel Insurance.
Thank you, Karen and Carrie, for having me, and welcome everybody. As Karen mentioned earlier, I agree that we think that travel insurance is the most important thing that you can bring with you on a vacation, and in my opinion, is a necessity. I do hope that you leave this session tonight knowing a lot more about the fundamentals of travel insurance and more informed. With travel insurance, obviously we want to have you traveling with peace of mind while you're enjoying your vacation, and seeing that we are a CAA company, we are obsessed with member safety. Everything that we do with the traveler in mind. Our coverage does provide up to 5 million Canadian with worldwide coverage. We have our claims and assistance support, which is 24/7. We'll get into a bit more detail with the optional coverage and pre-existing conditions in a few more slides, but that is additional coverage that we do offer to customize your plans. We offer deductibles to lower your premium, and as well as we have different options for single trips as well as multi-trips and add-ons like top-ups. And then both as Karen and Carrie mentioned, you do save with being a CAA member up to 20% on your policy. Looking at the customizations for your medical plan, what we really want you to understand is the type of coverage that you need and what you should be choosing, what type of product is best suited for you and your travel needs. We do have our emergency medical insurance. We have trip cancellation, which would cover you prior to leaving home, as well well as our trip interruption option, which provides coverage for once you leave home and for any interruption and delays. And then we have our package plans. In terms of managing costs, we have multi-trip plans, as mentioned. These plans are offered for emergency medical as well as our vacation packages. We do offer different day selection options. If you do travel, say 2 weeks at a time per trip throughout the year, we do offer a multi-trip annual plan of 15 days, as well as the vacation package. They have specific days selections that you can select, and these multi-trip plans are good for 1 year, and they do provide great coverage, unlimited coverage within Canada as well. And new as of last year, we introduced our automatic renewal program. It's a great option to have your multi-trip plan in place, and you can have it renew year after year. It's one less thing you need to think about when traveling. And then, as mentioned, we have our deductible options. Again, deductibles are a great way to lower the cost of your premium. And we do have different deductible options available, starting at $300 and it goes up to $50,000. Again, to reduce your premium, if that's that you are looking into, it is a great way to reduce that premium amount. And then we have our family rates, and we'll get into that, I believe, in the next slide. And just to give you the pricing difference, if you do apply a family rate, if you are a family of 3 or more, it is a great option to reduce that premium cost. And then moving over to the extra coverages. These are really the customizations that we can add on to your plans. For the extra coverage, we first have our pre-existing medical condition rider. This is very important to look at when you are shopping around to make sure that your pre-existing medical conditions are covered. Companies will just outright exclude pre-existing medical conditions, or them will implement a really long stability, such as 1 year or even a lifetime that we've seen. The Pre-X rider does reduce stability depending on your age. It's typically either 3 months or 6 months, but the Pre-X rider would reduce the stability period down to 7 days. The maximum coverage would be $200,000 for any eligible hospital and medical related expenses for any sickness or injury resulting from that pre-existing medical condition that was not stable prior to the start date of your trip. Although the premium is priced higher for the pre-existing rider, but the benefit of the rider is to provide that peace of mind, knowing that that pre-existing medical condition that's not meeting the stability period would be covered by adding on that additional coverage. It is available on our emergency medical daily plan, as well as the multi-trip and top-ups, as well as the vacation package, single trip, and multi-trip. And then the last two we have as well to customize your plans. We have the sports and speed activities rider, as well as the adventurous air activities rider. If you are in destination and it's not you had planned, say, to do a helicopter or a hot air balloon ride, this is that you could either obviously call in before you travel if you are aware that you're going to be doing these adventurous activities, but you can definitely call in while you're on your trip and add that you would get that additional coverage onto your policy in the event was to happen. Moving into why choosing family travel insurance. This is just an example to provide what the savings you would get if you purchase a family plan rather than just buying purchasing a policy where it's going to be charging everybody that's going to be on that policy. Again, single trip medical plan for non-family pricing. And again, this is based on a family of 4, 2 adults and 2 children, and based on 8 days with a trip cancellation coverage of $5,000. We're looking at a savings of $108.58 approximately. And then with the multi-trip medical plan, we're looking at around a savings of $152. And then with your medical and your trip cancellation, you're looking at a savings of about $140. Again, if you are traveling as a family, we do offer those family rates to bring down the cost of the premium, and it is based on the eldest in the family, and basically the kids are traveling for free under that plan. All right, moving into the emergency medical insurance. We really do think that this is our core product. If you are on the fence questions about buying travel insurance, we do strongly recommend you at least get the emergency medical coverage. Although the trip cancellation and interruption offer a ton of value, we do highly recommend, but we are hearing a percentage of Canadians traveling without emergency medical coverage. Again, our policy does cover up to 5 million, and 5 million is the recommended amount. Again, if you are shopping around, you really shouldn't be looking at coverages with a lower amount of 5 million. We really strongly believe that the 5 million should be the minimum amount that you should be looking at when comparing plans. The emergency medical insurance does offer coverage for unexpected medical emergencies and not covering for your usual checkups or ongoing care. It does cover the expenses to treat any medical emergency from start to finish. And we do look at the entire situation and not just the emergency situation. And if you happen to be driving to destination and obviously if you fall and break your leg, we will treat you for that broken leg, whether it be hospitalization, surgery, cast, but we will look at where the other benefits in our policy could apply. If, like I said, you are driving down to destination, now that you have this broken leg, how are we going to return your vehicle? That's that we would apply in your coverage to return your vehicle back home to your Canadian province. Again, we cover for glasses, hearing aids, dental care, your transportation to the hospital, your return if you're traveling with pets. We will take care of the return of your pets as well. We just want to make sure that everything in terms of our benefits, where they would apply in that emergency situation, we would apply those benefits additionally to treating that medical condition. Another popular question that we get quite often is, do I need medical insurance in Canada? The answer is yes, it is very important. The majority of the medical cost will be covered by your OHIP, but there are expenses that aren't covered. Mainly the medical coverages would be covered, but there are still coverages, again, that wouldn't be covered through your OHIP plan. Things like your prescription or ambulance, whether it be ground or air, semi-private room, and ancillary fees. The premiums as well for if you're purchasing and you're traveling strictly within Canada, we do offer Canada plans, and they are heavily discounted. They are a different premium from our regular emergency medical, which would be outside of your province or outside of country, I should say. And then if you're traveling strictly within Canada, we do offer our Canada plans. And again, they are heavily discounted for Canadian travel. Moving into the multi-trip coverage. Again, as mentioned earlier, we do have our multi-trip emergency medical plans. And again, these are really designed to they're set for the entire year and designed for people who do travel quite frequently, whether it be 4 days here, 4 days there, larger trips, 2 weeks here, 8 days at another point in the year. If you are traveling at least 2 times a year, these really are beneficial in terms of premium. You do save by purchasing the multi-trip coverage. Again, the durations that you can select from for a multi-trip emergency medical plan would be 4 days, 8 days, 15 days, 30 days, as well as 60 days. And then as well as the vacation package multi-trip plans, we do offer those, as well as for 4, 8, 15, and 30 days. Again, if you travel outside of your home province or you're traveling outside of the country, you would be covered for the specific days that you have selected. If I do select a 15-day annual plan, I can travel up to 15 days per trip for the entire year, as many times as I desire. If I am going to be over that 15 days, that's where we would do an extension, or what we call a top-up, and that allows you to be over the 15 days for one particular trip. If it's going to be 20 or 25 days, we would issue a top-up for those remainder of those days that you would be covered for the entire trip. If you are traveling, again, within Canada, just outside of province, it is unlimited coverage. If you happen to go into the States, you can travel for 4 days or 8 days into the States. As soon as you return, it doesn't have to be your home province, but once you return to Canada, that trip duration does reset. You would then again earn that 15 or 30 days or whatever day selection you have selected. That would reset, and you would have that entire time, again, to travel elsewhere. And then again, if you do stay in destination longer than chosen, you can purchase that additional top up as required. Trip cancellation and interruption. This is really designed to make sure that you don't lose the investment that you've made on your trip. Essentially, if anything happens prior to your departure date that affects your travel plans, all of those non-refundable prepaid expenses that you've put down, whether it be for your cruise, your hotel, or your flight, we want to make sure that you don't lose that money. Some of these trips can be very expensive, and the cost of travel is going up year over year. And there could be a whole bunch of things that could come up, whether it be weather related, natural disasters. A lot of the time we see the cancellation claims come through and it's due to sickness, whether it's yourself that falls ill or your travel companion gets sick, or even if you're traveling with children. If one of the kids gets sick, you can no longer leave on your trip. These are all situations where the value of trip cancellation really becomes evident. We do highly recommend and suggest that when you are shopping around for insurance, don't just inquire about the emergency medical insurance. Do inquire about the package plans as well, or at least the trip cancellation coverage as a component with the emergency medical. Again, trip cancellation coverage does protect your investment, anything prior to your departure date. And then trip interruption is as soon as your start date starts, the day that you leave home until the day that you return would be considered trip interruption. And then additionally, with the benefits through CAA, we do offer exclusive benefits when you are purchasing your trip through CAA North and East. We have our cancel for any other reason. You do get a reimbursement of 50% of the prepaid non-refundable travel arrangements if you need to cancel for any other outside of the listed benefits. But if you do book with CAA Travel North and East, you do receive 75% reimbursement if you are claiming for cancel for any. As well, the same goes for the interruption for any other. And then we have our denied boarding and entry. This is reimbursement of the unused non-refundable portion of prepaid travel arrangements and any additional costs of accommodation, food, phone calls. If you or your travel companion are denied boarding at entry at customs or any security checkpoints due to health regulations set by the government authorities. And then one of the other benefits of the CAA policy is bounce back. The bounce back insurance covers you for a reimbursement up to $2,000 for round trip economy airfare to return you back to your home province or back to your destination. If an immediate family member is not traveling with you and say is admitted to the hospital or passes away, you could come back from your trip if it happens with your home, if there's a flood or fire. And then this will allow you, if there is enough time and you would like to go back to destination, this will allow you to return back to your trip. Those are benefits of booking your travel arrangements through CAA North and East and purchasing the travel insurance. And then lastly, just to cover off credit card coverage. So we do know a lot of people do inquire when you are traveling, you are considering that you have coverage with your credit card company. Things that we do want to highlight to consider when you are shopping around for coverage, especially with your credit card company, you do want to consider how many days of coverage are included. Companies do have a certain limit, whether it might be based on your age and you only have 3 days of coverage. That's really important that you check out the coverage that is included, as well as will my medical expenses be paid up front if I make a claim. You may be reimbursed, it might be out of pocket, whereas our coverage in most cases are covered up front with the Orion coverage. Again, what is the stability period for pre-X medical conditions? That one is super important. You do want to make sure that you are confirming what the stability period is and if your pre-existing conditions meet their stability clause, and if there's an age limit for your medical coverage, as well as would they allow me to cancel for what the reimbursements are if that's included. This is just a checklist of things to consider when you are comparing. There are a lot of great benefits with our coverage. If you are looking at both credit card and the CAA North and East coverage, then these are mainly the top 6 things that we would suggest that you would go through and confirm that you have the correct answers and you're really looking at the coverage. What, again, stability period is a big thing, and if you are covered for any pre-existing medical conditions.
Thank you, Lindsay. Travel confidently with CAA Travel. Why book with CAA Travel? Why should you use a CAA Travel consultant? Research shows that we have expertise or has specialized areas. We send our travel consultants off around the world to experience our product. They can come back and tell you all about it. Easy access to our documentations. We will save you time and money. Let us do the research, compare the prices and everything for you. We'll get you the CA exclusive member benefits and pricing. And as I said, our travel consultants have recently traveled and will share firsthand their experience with you. Before you go away this winter, you should stock up on your medications. You never know if you're going to have to be extended. If your flight's canceled or you can't come back, forward your mail. Create the illusion that it's home, especially in the winter. Make sure a neighbor goes in and shovels your driveway or make little tracks or something like that. Switch to online billing. Prep your home for the winter. Set your thermostat. Make sure you turn off your water if any, overflows or anything like that. Inspect your home's interior. Let others know that you're away. They can keep an eye on your house. Unplug appliances and get your documents in order. Make sure you have copies of your passport, your travel insurance, have copies, leave copies at home too in case it happens, in case your wallet gets stolen or you misplace your bag and you need those copies. Else has them and they can send them off to you right away. And protect your trip with CAA Orion Travel Insurance.
Carrie, just adding on to that about the medication, not only is it important to pack a little bit extra, but of course, put it in your carry-on. Never pack medications in your luggage. It's definitely a lot better than it has been in the past years as far as luggage delays and missing luggage, but it's still happening out there. Make sure the essentials are packed with you in your carry-on. And of course, make sure you've got protection with Orion Insurance and you've got baggage coverage there as well. If anyone has any questions, please drop them in the little chat box at the bottom of your screen there, and we will address those. Our upcoming travel talks, there's a little QR code just there on your left-hand side. And for the month of March, we'll be meeting with Windstar Cruises to learn all about small ship cruising on March 4th. And then we'll be working with the TTC Tour Company, Trafalgar and Insight and Luxury Gold, and learning all about touring. And that one is the following week on March the 11th. And you can just register online on that QR code on your left. If you'd like to get an insurance quote, again, just scan that right there in the center. And then if you want to make an appointment with a travel consultant, again, you can meet them and go on into the stores, online, on the phone, whatever works best for you. We can set that up. All right, I've seen a couple of questions have come in. The first one is, are there any special booking stipulations for the CFAR benefit?
No, well, there's no special booking per se. You can book either, like I said, you can book your travel through CAA North and East, and with the CFAR, it would be up to the 75%. But if you are booking elsewhere, you would still get the CFAR included in the policy and under the benefits. If you are purchasing it within the 72 hours, it would be 50% though, reduced if you're booking elsewhere. Really, the only 2 rules is you have to book it within the 72 hours after booking. But if you do book it through CAA North and East, the percentage is 75% versus if you book elsewhere, it's 50% reimbursement of the non-refundable prepaid arrangements.
Can we get a copy of this presentation? Yes, it will be posted on our website tomorrow. You can share this with friends and family and review it once again. What is covered in travel? What is covered in a travel service fee mentioned in the CAA levels?
You want to take that away, Karen?
Sure. The CA service fee is covering, for example, if you're booking an air only, there is typically a professional fee that's added on to that. And depending on your membership level, that will be waived. And if you're booking a package or a cruise larger, there's typically no service fees. Your travel counselor can explain that when they're going through the booking process with you. Is there a cost to use a CA consultant when you are a CA Plus member? Again, it really depends on, as I mentioned, what you're booking, but the CA consultants are there to service you. They'll be helping you every single step of the way, and depending on the products, there may or may not be a service fee. What would be the advantages of booking through CAA if all we're doing are flights? We're staying with friends at our destination, and they'll be picking us up and doing the driving. This is a trip to Germany. Well, we've seen challenges certainly out there this week, and the CAA team have really, they're doing all the heavy lifting for the member. They're being in touch with the airlines. We're on hold for 3-4 hours when there's challenges going on, such as this week in Mexico. We're going to be your advocate for you. Not only just making the booking, but right looking after you until you get home. Every single step of the way, we're there for you.
And Karen, we'll have our new benefit of CA Delay Pass if you book your flights with us too. You can register in case your flight is delayed, and you'll get an email from Delay Pass to let you know that your flight's delayed and go to the lounge.
That's an excellent point, Carrie. That's what you need to do actually before you travel is make sure you register on your CA My account, and you could register your flight information and be eligible for a Delay Pass if you have booked a package with us or if you're a Premier member. Is there a tour company that you would recommend for a single female traveler? Well, there is actually, depending on what you're looking for, but there's a partner we work with called Just You. They have departures, and it's built with the single in mind. But that being said, a lot of our travel partners, whether you're cruising or you're doing a regular tour, often have rates or specials, cabins. It's really, meet with your travel consultant, tell them exactly what you're looking for, and are certainly well looked after now as opposed to in the past where you're always dinged with that double single supplement. Okay. Don't see any other questions that have come in. If you do think of anything else, of course, your travel counselors make an appointment and chat with us either on the phone, online, or in. They'll be there to answer any questions. They go through extensive training with CA Travel Insurance and Orion. They are truly the experts. And of course, we have Lindsay, who's always available for help and support. Thank you much for joining us, Carrie and Lindsay, this evening. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Good night. Thank you.